Right. Word. Another pipe. We got this bay run. We're almost through with the second bay, and then we got the third bay. The boxes on the third bay already.
Simon Electric at it again, lighting one house at a time. We're out here in Loxahatchee, Florida. Today we're not actually lighting a house, we're installing oscillating fans in a private greenhouse. The customer is very skilled in, I guess you'd say, the horticulture industry, and having the fans give a constant breeze to the plants is beneficial. And if you want to follow me, I can go ahead and point out some of the aspects of this particular project. We're running 3/4 schedule 80 PVC in here, and then dropping it down to 1/2 inch as we branch out. This is one of the new fans. There's 3 more down the line here, and then on this side there's 3. So we're going to be alternating, I think, like 4-3, 4-3, something like that. There might be another one here though that we are either going to install now or have the possibility in the future to easily install that particular one. And it'll all be switched from a adjacent building, if you follow me. All the switching is going to be done from the pump house here. The power that's ran to the pump house is actually pretty well done. We didn't do this aspect here, but we're just taking care of the lighting and the fans inside the greenhouse. So overall, I'd say that this is a interesting project. We try to keep it, keep ourselves pretty broadly capable of installation of electrical on many different aspects. Most companies probably wouldn't tend to seek out these types of projects, but I feel it keeps us sharp for whatever comes our way, and we enjoy the difference, having a new challenge each day. It's always important to stop and smell the flowers. These are beautiful orchids, not roses today, but one aspect of day-to-day life at Simon Electric is not only the side of the installation, but we have the office side, which I want to bring you guys over to see that. There's a lot of stress involved, and that's why I always try to stop and smell the flowers. And I mean, I get to come out and do amazing projects like this and see multiple sides, but the office staff, they're just always dealing with different aspects of the job that can be difficult, rewarding. And like, let's take this job for instance. A customer calls in, we kind of field the type of project it is, and we sometimes have to come out and take a look at it. Sometimes we can give a rough quote over the phone, and then the next step would be sending guys out to confirm the rough quote and get started. And that's actually the way that this project went. They only wanted a few things done, and then the project kind of grew. So initially, we didn't actually send out a quote for this particular project, but the customer was happy with what we did before, and they wanted to expand the project a little bit, and that's how that went. But each project has its different aspects in how we go about the navigation from customer acquisition to completion of a project, but each one, again, has its challenges, its rewards, and that's part of the day-to-day thing here at Simon Electric, and we appreciate all the aspects. So today, this is really nice inside here. It's actually pretty mild temperature inside the greenhouse here. One of the reasons for that is the fact that Hurricane Ian just passed through, and immediately following any hurricane, the low pressure system that follows it is always a little cooler than it was previous to the storm. That's the nature of how the storms move through. So today the fans might not seem as important because it does help with regulating the temperature as well as keeping the plants strong. However, the temperature in here seems to be pretty, you know, comfortable. I can only imagine when that's not the case, and I'm sure it gets very warm in here. A couple aspects of the project that I wanted to go over as well. One thing you're going to want to pay attention to with code when it comes to running conduit like this is your pipe fill, also, which means how many wires are going to be ran through the conduit, which we shouldn't have any issues with pipe fill on this job because it's actually just a couple circuits. But another one is making sure you're using the proper conduit in the correct location. You want to make sure you use Schedule 80 anywhere that's has a high probability of damage or the possibility of damage. So anything below 10 feet and above grade, you're going to want to have it be Schedule 80 PVC. So everything that's up above us here is in the context where it can be Schedule 40. Everything else is Schedule 80. Another thing is it's not actually a code requirement, but you know, sometimes you got to try to implement, you know, a little bit of common sense into your choice in materials. We could, in all, you know, within 100% within code compliance, be installing EMT conduit, which is electrometallic tubing. It's a metal conduit. We could install that, and it's less expensive, easier to install. You can easily bend it right there. You don't need to use heat guns or any of that type of stuff. The fittings are much less expensive. So overall, it's less labor intensive and less costly. However, in a few years from now, when you go to try and pull another wire through that pipe, the first problem you're going to see is where the humidity gets inside the pipe, especially in something like a greenhouse like this, where it's a high humidity and type of environment. There's going to be surface rust on the inside of the conduit, and that's like pretty much like sandpaper. And when you try to pull your wire through there, you're either going to skin the wire or it's just going to not be able to be pulled at all. So, and then beyond that, go out a few more years past that in normal circumstances, like where you're not close to the ocean or there's not some sort of a caustic or acidic environment, just even standard weathering, you're going to end up in a few years, about I would say 5 to 10 years, you're going to end up having actual rust holes through the conduit. And I've even seen it where it ends up where just the straps are remaining and you have wire just like, looks like Christmas lights between the straps. So, and it's 100% code compliant to use that type of conduit in this environment, in this application. But do we want, as Simon Electric, to have our name be associated with that for many years to come? And that's why we go the extra mile, spend a little bit more money, and get a little nicer product. Even if the next, you know, 20 years from now they don't know who did it, it's still peace of mind for me. So as I was going over before, the type of conduit we use in this application is PVC. However, the junction boxes we use are aluminum, so they will not corrode. The type of environment that we're expecting in this location would be high humidity, as I mentioned before, and then also sprinkler systems, which are located throughout the entire area. And it's going to be a pretty damp location, so we want to use all damp and or wet location rated junction boxes, conduit, all the aspects will have a damp or wet location rating. So this is called the single gang bell box. It's aluminum, and with the cover that we'll use is wet location rated, and it will provide many, many years of service without any water intrusion, and that overall will help again with the longevity and the reliability of this type of installation. All right, so wrapping up another day here at this project in Loxahatchee, Florida, where we're installing some fans in the greenhouse. So Looking forward to the rest of the installation tomorrow. We have to finish mounting the fans, installing the SJ cord to the GFI outlets, and hang tight and we'll see you there tomorrow. Take care.